It is a complete course project. Please learn them in order. This is part 2, lighting and composition. Okay, before we start lighting, you want to set something for our reflective materials. So click on polyplane, so it will automatically create it on center of grid. So press R and scale little bit big. So you want to cover the whole our crystal cup. So now you want to give subdivision width and height to 1. So now I want to scale little bit bigger in X. Now you want to press E and rotate this one like this. So in -90 and press W. So sorry, I will select this object and press W and move in Y. So you want to keep this on this side. So this is a reflective chord for our scene. So I will move little bit further. So I will scale little bit in Z. So I want to insert edge loop over center and press W and move in X like this. So I will insert edge loop for over here. Press W and move in X like this. So I will double click on this edge, shift double click on this edge, shift right click and choose Bevel Edge. So I will give segment to 2. So I will increase the fraction amount. So go to object mode. So this is my reflective chord. So I will give Alt Shift D to clear my history. So right click and choose assign new material. So I will give surface shader for my object. So this one is an ref underscore surface underscore surface shader 01. So reflection underscore surface shader 01. So I will give out color to white, so pure white, so like this. So now I want to keep on this side also. Press Ctrl D. I will move this object over here. So press E and rotate like this. So I want to rotate in Y. So go to attributes. So you want to give this one is a +90 or 180. So like this, you want to give rotate X to 180. So I will move little bit further. So I want to scale my ground. So I will move my reflection further. So because I want to place light over here. So now I want in front side also this one. So press Ctrl D. I want to move this one in here. So I want to rotate. This one is 240 or 270. So you want to rotate X in 270. So I will place exactly front of our crystal cup. So now we place our reflection source for our caustic object. So I will move the front side reflective material. So further, so go to window and choose outliner. So I will rename my objects. So this one is a ground 01. So and then this one is a reflection ref 1, and this one is the ref 2, and this one is the ref 3. So that means reflection. So I will give short form. So now I want to set my lights. So go to before we want to set light, you want to set the camera view. So I will click spacebar to switch over my 4 views. So I will extend this one. So that means you got only 2 view. Here we want perspective view. Here I want to set this as a camera view. So go to rendering, click on create camera. So go to panels and choose look through selector. Go to panels and choose perspective and choose camera 1. So now you able to see through the camera. So now you pan the viewport, so the camera will be set like this. So I want to set my camera view like this. So you want to keep X in this direction, Z in this direction. So I will set my camera view like this. So go to view camera settings and choose overscan, and go to view camera settings and choose resolution gate. So in default it will be set as 960 × 540. It's too high for basic rendering. So you want to reduce this height and width. Go to render settings. So here we have render using Maya software. You want to change this as a mental ray. Sometimes it will not available here. You want to enable in settings and preference. Go to window, settings and preference, and choose plugin manager. So scroll down. Here you have Maya to MR option. So you want to check this one, load, and choose auto load. So that means it will available in your render settings. So I want to choose mental ray. So and in common tab, and I will choose my preset to 640 × 480. So I will zoom little bit. So go to shading and choose wireframe on shader. That means you able to see your blend materials very clearly. So like this. So I want to set my camera view like this. So I will give some space for here because we want to see some caustic patterns over here. So I will give some space on this side. So go to view, select camera. So select your all camera values over here. Right click and choose log selected like this. So in default I want to check my render. So go to render settings, go to quality tab and turn on this one, show advanced settings. Go to trace depth to you want to set reflection 1 and transmission 1 and maximum trace depth to 2. So we will increase manually when you take render. So in default you want to set this like this. So you want to give reflection 1, transmission 1 and maximum trace depth to 2. So I will select this viewport and click render button. See here we have nothing light to our scene, but you still see our lighting in your scene because go to render settings, in common tab go below. Here we have render option. You want to turn off this one, enable default light. So I will select my viewport and click render. So now we doesn't have any lighting in our scene. So now I want to set my light over here. So go to rendering and click on create spotlight. So when the spotlight selected, go to panels and choose look through selected. So that means you will able to see through the spotlight. When I adjust my viewport, our spotlight will be adjust. See here. So you want to angle like this. So go to panels perspective and choose perspective. So press R and scale. So this is my caustic light. Go to attributes editor. So I want to rename this as a caustic spotlight. So I will give intensity to 0 and press enter. So I didn't want any intensity. So this spotlight only cost for our costings. So go to mental ray. In bottom side you will have this option emit photons. So it will emit photons for our caustic light. And then you want to go to shadow option. So turn off this, use Retrace Shadow. So now click on this viewport and click render. So you doesn't see any changes in our scene. So I will keep this image for comparison. So I will enable caustics on this light over here. You also enable caustics on render settings also. Go to render settings and choose quality tab. So you definitely turn on this one, show advanced option. So here we have legacy options. So go bottom side. Here you under global illumination you have caustic options. So I will enable my caustics. So I will click on my viewport, camera view over here and click render. So now you see our caustic patterns will be enabled. See here. So but our materials will not show very realistic. So you want to turn on ray tracing for our each and every material. So I will select my crystal cup material, right click and choose material attributes. So go bottom side, here you have ray trace option. So I want to turn on refraction, so I will give 1.2. so you want to do all other crystal balls also. So I will select my crystal ball. So right click and choose material attributes. Here you want to go to refraction, ray trace option, turn on refraction. I will give 1.1. So you want to do same thing, right click and choose material attributes and turn on refraction. So I will give 1.1. So right click and choose material attributes and turn on refraction and give 1.1. So right click and choose material attributes and turn on refraction. I will give 1.1. You want to do same thing on this object, right click and choose material attributes, turn on refraction, give 1.1. So you want to give all the materials for 1.1 refraction for our crystal objects. I will give 1.2 refraction amount for my crystal cup because it has some thickness. So it has only one layer, so I will give 1.1 refraction. So I will select my view, open your render view, keep this image for comparison and click render. So now see our crystal cup will be colored, but you cannot able to see clearly because we have stopped our color over here. Because go to render settings. So in quality tab, here you have ray trace option, trace depth. So we already set one reflection, one transmission and maximum trace depth, but it has lot of thickness. So I will give at least 10 reflection and 10 transmission. So this one is the sum of 2. So I will give 20. So I will keep this image for comparison and click render again. So now you see our crystal cup and crystal balls are shown very clean. So this is what we expect, but I want to give some reduce some reflection for this objects. So I will select this object, right click and choose material attributes. So I want to reduce my reflectivity to 0.2. So you want to do same thing for all other object, right click and choose material attributes and choose reflectivity to 0.2. So right click and choose material attributes. So you want to change reflectivity to 0.2, material attributes 0.2. Right click and choose material attributes and give 0.2. Right click and choose material attributes and give 0.2. So I will select my viewport. I will open my render settings over here. I will keep this image for comparison and click render again. Okay, now my reflection will be reduced on our object. So now we only set our caustic light over here. We want to set our key light for our objects. So go to rendering tab and choose area light, press R and scale little bit big. Press E and rotate in Y. So press W, you want to move exactly where the caustic light will be placed, like this. Now press E and rotate in X, so you want to angle little bit and rotate in Y. So now you want to turn on Retrace Shadow for this area light. So I will give intensity to 0.5. So I want to check it will be perfect or not. So I will select my view. So go to render view. I will keep this image for comparison and click render again. Okay, see here we have realistic crystal cup and ball effect over here. So now we want to tweak our caustics for our final. So I will select my caustic light, caustic spotlight. Here we have increase our intensity to 16,000. So now we want to check. So I will select this viewport, open render view again. So I will click this keep image button, so and then click render again. So now check, see here our caustic light will be increased. So now I want to work on our caustic patterns. So go to render settings, in quality tab. Here we have caustics turn on. Here in bottom side you have radius of. So I will give 0.5 and press enter. So I will keep this image for comparison and click render again. So see here our caustic pattern will be splitted over here. So I want at least 0.8. So I will reduce my radius to 0.8. So I will keep this image for comparison and click render again. So now I want to see here it will be little bit reduced. Now I want to increase my sharpness of caustic photons. So I will select my spotlight and go to caustics and global illumination. Here we have caustic photons. So I will increase 20,000 photons. So and press enter. So I will select this, keep this image for comparison and click render again. So see here it will be little bit sharpen our caustic photons. So I will increase much more. So I will give 50,000 photons. So I will keep this image and click render again. So now see it will be little bit accuracy for our caustic patterns. So and it also increase our render time. See it will be goes 12 seconds to 13 seconds. Remember, when you increase caustic photons, your render time will be much higher. So I will give 100,000 photons. So I will keep this image for comparison and click render again. Now see it will be much clean. So compare previous frame. So I will give 500,000 caustic photons and keep this image for comparison and click render. So now see this is what we expect. So now the caustic patterns will split into very accurate position. So this is what we need. So now I will increase my photon intensity much more. So I will give 32,000 photon intensity. I will keep this image for comparison and click render again. So now see our caustic pattern intensity will be increased. So I will give 50,000 over here. So I will keep this image for comparison and click render. Okay, so this is what we need over here. So but I want little bit scene intense. So I will select my area light. So I will give intensity to 1. So and keep this image for comparison and click render. So now compare the previous frame. So see, our scene intensity will be increased. So now I want to see here we have the shadow will be splashed out, so we want to clear it. So select the area light. Now go to Retrace Shadow attributes. Here you need to give at least 20 shadow rays and raise depth limit to 5. So I will keep this image for comparison and render again. So now compare the previous frame. So see here, so when I zoom in, so in previous frame we have lot of patches over here. So in this frame it will be clean, but the render time is gone 20 seconds to 37 seconds. So remember, when you increase the shadow rays and ray depth limit, your render time is much higher. So and also you will increase your caustic photons. It also takes the render time much higher. So remember this both things. So now we got the final render over here. Now we want to set the camera view. So go to view, select cam. So I will unlock my all the attributes. So I will select all the attributes, right click and choose unlock selected. So now go to render settings. In common tab you want to increase your image size. So I will right click and choose HD 1080. So I will give HD 1080. So now I will set my camera view like this, so a little bit closer. So now I will select, go to view, select cam. So I will select all the attributes in my camera, right click and choose lock selected. I will select this view and click render. Okay, we want to save this image. So go to file and choose save image option box. So you want to save as save color management image and apply and close, and go to file and choose save image. In your destination folder, in images folder, you want to save as CLR, color pause. So now we want to take an occlusion pause. So go to outliner. So select all your objects, don't select the light. So you want to select all your except reflection object. So you want to only choose ground and your caustic materials. So go to render and click on this button. So and give right click and choose attributes. So sometimes the preset will not be available. So right click and choose attributes. So right click and choose occlusion. So click on this checker. So you want to give at least 64 samples and give maximum distance to 5. So I will click over here and click render again. So now you want to save this image. Go to file and choose save image, and you want to choose OCC, that means occlusion. So and then save. So now open Photoshop for comp our render images. So go to file and choose open. So you want to choose your destination folder. Go to caustic project and choose images. So here we have render images. So I will use control and select color pause and occlusion pause and press open. So I want to drag this occlusion pause using move tool. So I will click and drag and go over here. So you want to place above to your color pause, and you want to select this occlusion layer, and you want to choose the blending option to multiply. So that means see here we doesn't have any shadow without occlusion. So when I turn on occlusion, so you have some contact shadow over your objects. So now I want to increase little bit brightness for our object. So I will select my background layer, go to image adjustment and choose brightness contrast. So increase little bit brightness and decrease little bit contrast. So like this, and press OK. So now we have comp our images. Now you want to save this scene, so go to file and choose save as. So I will choose my desktop, I will choose JPEG. Now it's on final underscore caustics project. So I will give save and give quality to 12. So I will close my project, go to my desktop, right click and choose preview. That's it. That's the end of the course. I hope you like it. Please click the below button to subscribe my YouTube channel. I came up with new creative production project every week. Thank you for spending your valuable time with me. So I see you on next course project.